Tyler, I've noticed you playing with a disturbing number of dolls lately.
Yes.
But also playing a disturbing amount of Ratz Instagib.
I've been playing a lot of it. I jump in, well, I was going almost every day. I've slacked off because I've been busy, but I love it. And I love Instagib as a concept, just shooting, one-shot kill.
Very, very fast-paced.
Pure aim, a lot of jumping around, a lot of sort of rocket jumping, and yeah, just racking up kills very quickly.
I feel like Ratz is the first arena shooter that's caught our eye, or at least it's caught my eye, in almost 10 years since Unreal 2004, which we still play in the office, we still do Instagib matches. So I think the question that's been on my mind with Ratz Instagib, another game called Toxikk that has recently launched in early access, is what the hell happened to arena shooters and why are we seeing some now?
Yeah, Evan, what happened? What did you do?
It's my bad.
Shooter expert.
I mean, it's interesting, right? Because in one way, we're in like a golden age of hardcore competitive games. Top 2 games on Steam, Dota 2, Counter-Strike Go.
Like top games in the world,
Yeah.
including League of
League
Legends.
of Legends. Yeah, so in a way it's like, well, where are arena shooters in this equation? But I think like what they don't have necessarily is like that social component where like, if I'm playing Counter-Strike, it's with a group of 5, it's with a team, it's like I'm in casual with my buddies and we're in a public match or something. Arena shooters rarely, I think, leave room for that kind of joking around and like mixture of...
They're so intense, they're so always on, there's no downtime ever in Unreal.
Exactly, you're so focused on spawning, getting to the power up, getting the armor, getting the most powerful weapon, using it, respawning, like rinse, wash, repeat. And that pace doesn't leave room for downtime at all, yeah.
Do you think that's why they just kind of died out over the past 10 years?
I don't think it's the only reason. I mean, these are really hard games to attach progression systems to, right? Like Call of Duty, Battlefield, even if you're losing, even if you're really frustrated, you're earning stuff, you're unlocking weapons, you're sort of discovering the game over time, whereas it doesn't make sense to like give you a damage boost or like a new scope on a rocket launcher or something like that in an arena game. Like, so in that way, like the matches feel very fleeting. It's like you played it and it was satisfying, but it's gone. It's like gone from memory. It's very impermanent.
Even in a game like Battlefield where the campaign is kind of throwaway, just having some context to the match that you're playing, some kind of narrative around it is really nice. Like that, it adds so much more to it than you expect, and like that's something arena shooters have really cared about.
As a Quake 2 player, I vividly remember being really upset when I found out Quake 3 wasn't going to have a Quake 2 style campaign. I loved that for whatever reason. Strog, man, gotta fight the Strog.
Strog. Yeah, don't bring up Quake 4. Let's not go there. No. That was the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Forget that, yeah. But Quake 3, I think, was sort of the better competitive game. Clearly, I mean, it's still played today in Quake Live, which sort of unfairly didn't get as much love as it should have, probably from being a browser game and free to play.
Yeah, Quake. I mean, if this genre is going to come back, I think Quake has to be a part of it. I mean, we're all invested in Quake. We love the railgun. We love rocket jumping, obviously. That's just a fundamental part of like shooter DNA. And I don't know, id Software is kind of dragging their feet with Doom. We're going to see what that's like. We have no idea like what the multiplayer component's going to be like.
It could be a big comeback for arena shooters, or maybe something else will even beat them to the punch. I don't know, like there are a few in progress right now that are kind of exciting. We've been playing Toxikk, which really just feels like Unreal 2004, maybe almost to its detriment. And I think that's kind of that's the problem for arena shooters right now, is there is interest in them. There's excitement around games like, small games like Ratz and Toxikk and Cliffy B's Project Blue Streak, which, we don't really know much about it. We've just seen like some concept art and stuff. It's all exciting, but is the problem gonna be they're just what developers were making 10 years ago with, better graphics now? Is that enough to bring them back? I don't think so.
Probably not. It's going to take, I do think there are a number of different possible approaches. I mean, you either build an arena shooter where everyone isn't sort of on the same playing field in terms of what you do. In other words, like you have a support role or something, but you don't go like full like Team Fortress 2 style class design. That way you have something that like non-hardcore shooter players can do and contribute and kind of be a part of. Or you like go all in on like the competitive aspect of the game and like analyzing stats, where you like build really granular like data for your matches and stuff like that. You make sort of the intrinsic skill progression in the multiplayer ladder like really fun and interesting, like StarCraft 2 or something.
Yeah, maybe it's the new Unreal Tournament.
That Epic's working on, yeah.
Right, yeah, and it's going to be free, which I think obviously helps it, like completely free, not free to play, and it's you know, community developed, or at least crowdsourced development is going into it, which could go a few ways, right? It could be a bunch of diehard Unreal Tournament fans who basically remake UT 2K4 with pretty graphics, or maybe there could be some really interesting new ideas and all of kind of stats and esports stuff you're talking about, maybe some really interesting like 5v5 modes to kind of play on the sort of popularity of CSGO. I always loved Capture the Flag in Quake 2, so more Capture the Flag.
We can't just do what we did 10 years ago and expect it to work. I mean, someone has to take a crack at designing this game and integrating some modern ideas, integrating some hybrid approaches where you have different roles or different like stat systems, different skill-based matchmaking stuff. Get that pain elemental off.
So maybe it'll be the new Doom or the new Quake even. You know, Doom's only been shown off behind closed doors. We have no idea what the multiplayer is going to be like. They haven't shown anything about that, but who knows?
I mean, those franchises have been quiet for long enough that you can really do something new with them. And you have a chance to reimagine what they are and what they're going to be in 2020 or whatever.
Believe in Doom, guy. That's going to be my motto for 2015.
I like it.
You killed arena shooters, Tyler. You fucking killed them.
I miss them already.
Hey everybody, we're here with the Q&A portion of the PC Gamer Show, where we take your questions from Facebook, Twitter, our Steam group, wherever you have asked them, with the hashtag AskPCGamer, and we see what's on your mind this week in PC gaming. What's our first question this week, Wes?
Our first question from Twitter user RazorXW is, do you think esports will eventually become a real sport?
I think yes, mainly, if for no other reason is that they're making money and things flourish that make money. Like big businesses, like sports, make a lot of money, and so I think esports can prove, if they can prove they can monetize, then they can prove they'll be successful.
Yeah, from that, you know, definition of sports, absolutely. I don't know if we're going to see League of Legends in the Olympics in the next 30 years, but they will definitely be more and more recognized, I think.
That could happen, but I agree, not anytime soon.
All right, question number 2.
Yeah, our second question is also on Twitter. It's from @Spontaneous501. He asks, will we see more companion tablet and mobile apps such as the ones in Metal Gear Solid 5, Battlefield 4, and Watch Dogs in the future?
I think yes, in terms of more, meaning they will continue to exist. I don't know how many more we're gonna see in terms of them becoming more common. I feel like the ones we've gotten have been, not many people have liked them really, you know, for Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs. They're not really fun tie-ins usually. The whole second screen experience thing just generally isn't that good. So, I don't know, I don't think we're gonna see a lot more of those. I think it's kind of a trend that developers have tried out, and I'm hoping personally that they'll die off.
I actually kind of hope that they flourish, but only if developers actually take advantage of them and make something useful out of them. Because the Wii U, I know that's not PC, but has proven you can do a lot with a second screen, and you know, the PC would be a great platform for that. Nobody's taking advantage of it, like you said.
They're not being implemented well.
Yeah.
All right, our last question comes from Steam user Imperator. He asks, do you think the advent of digital distribution has inadvertently led to games being worse on release because developers just figure they can patch things in later?
I think yes and no. I think the first thing to point out is, let's not get our rose-tinted glasses on. Games have always been released buggy, right?
Some games, not all games, but sure.
Right, but like bad launches are not like a new thing because of digital distribution, but I think, yeah, probably developers are pushing the limits of what they can get away with.
I'm gonna say yes, absolutely. It's become more common. The flip side of that is games that were broken, you know, once might have stayed broken forever, especially on consoles. PC has a longer history of patches. But yeah, even today, you know, we can patch games so much more efficiently than we were ever able to before, and that means that if a game is released buggy, at least they can do more about it, and they usually do more about it. But yeah, sad truth, a lot of games are shipping in not great states these days.
Well, thanks very much for your questions, guys. Please feel free to ask us anything that's on your mind this week in PC gaming using the hashtag AskPCGamer. You can post those on our Facebook, our Twitter, the comments of this video on PCGamer.com, on the YouTube page, wherever you can find us. We'll find them and we'll answer them next week. Thanks very much for watching, and see you next week.